What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Hello. What do you got for me?
I had a question in reference to what you said, something about that the man and the woman has to basically the woman has to
Let's start here.
okay,
Your first name is?
Gabrielle.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. What area of the country are you calling from? Northeast, southwest?
Northeast.
Okay. I'm assuming you're single. Would you like to be married?
Sure.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm
So
single.
what's your
I would
question?
like to be married.
So what's your question?
My question was, I heard you say something about that the woman needs to impress the man. You don't think that it should be 50-50? That they should, or, if you're meeting someone, you should be trying to impress each other?
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Why would a successful, productive, competitive, successful man need to do anything more to impress you?
If he's successful and a woman isn't, okay, if we're talking like that,
No, I'm talking
and
about successful women. But see,
or successful
Gabrielle,
women.
Miss
So
Gabrielle, let me
mm-hmm,
explain something. Women
yes.
control access to sex, right?
Can you repeat that part? You said
Women
women.
women control access to sex,
Okay, that's true.
right? Men control access to relationships.
Hmm. Okay.
It's my last name. It's my wedding ring. It's me who has to take on all the responsibilities. At the end of the day, it all falls back to me. I'm supposed to jump up and take the bullet. I'm supposed to provide. I'm supposed to do all these things, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if I control access to that and I have all those responsibilities, why do I need to impress you?
That is very true, even in a way in which it works these days. With how they position it is a man is supposed to go after a woman. He's supposed to impress her, you know, show her every inch of the world. And then he's supposed to do all of that just so he can pay the bills, protect her, and take care of her. It's a fair point. If all the responsibility is going to be on him, why does he need to impress you? At the end of the day, we're pretty much showing up for a job, doing all the work just to take on someone on board and say, well, guess what? I did all of that just so I can take care of you and take care of the family now. If he's already successful, not successful, like she said, but if he's already successful, why would he need to prove anything to you? The things are going to speak for themselves.
I feel like I feel like I didn't say like it has to be you impressing me. I feel like we should impress each other because we're doing this to be in a
Okay.
union together. We're one
Oh,
together.
but we're not.
Well, I'm
You're talking
saying
like
that's
we're
what we are
equals.
trying to be.
No, you're talking like we're equals. Do you plan on working when you're married?
Yeah, I
Okay.
plan on working.
Do you want to have
I like
children?
to work.
You want to have children?
You said, do I want to have children? I have children already.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So what does that mean when you say there you go?
Well, how many children do you have?
I have two.
How many different fathers?
Two.
Yeah, you got a lot of impressing to do, ma'am. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't know. I don't. It depends on the person. It depends
not
on the
really, and
individual.
not. I mean, okay, I'm not talking about. I'm just going to be dead honest, ma'am. I'm not talking about 100% of men. I'm talking about men that women want.
Mhm. So you feel because
Okay,
I had
ma'am. I
two
need you to
children.
listen. Hold on. I need you to listen.
I'm
Why didn't
listening.
one of the two men that gave you a child give you a wedding ring?
You said why?
Yeah, man gave you two different men gave you kids. Why didn't they give you their last name?
The first man we were high school sweethearts, and
The
it
courthouse
just
still
didn't work out. We
works.
were young.
The court, but you have a baby.
Right. And I decided that was a decision I made young because I was young,
How old is
That's a decision I made young because I was young. Okay. Even when you're that young, if you're young enough to have a baby, I guarantee you, you were young enough to fantasize the idea of a marriage and a household and the white picket fence with the dog. It don't matter how crazy it sounded to you, you knew it was possible. Just like you knew having a child was possible. But, that was just a decision that she made young because she was young. Foolish.
my
that?
daughter.
How old is young?
I had my daughter at 19.
Okay. But you
Hmm.
understand that marriage isn't okay. So see, you're a woman with two kids by two different men. Men
Right.
are already not impressed by that.
Hmm.
So if I'm a man and I'm a successful man and I'm dating and I have a woman who's has no children versus a woman with two different kids by two different men, yeah, you got
Hmm.
to do a hell of a lot to even want to get me to take you out on a date. You can laugh.
I'm laughing because I feel like just because someone has two kids
Okay, you can
by
feel
two
that.
different
Mm-hmm.
men, I really feel like that's not what's the word for it? That doesn't I feel like it's still equal as a person that doesn't have any
Mm-hmm.
kids.
Right. It doesn't impact your value at all, right?
No,
Two
I
kids.
feel like it's
Yeah.
the same.
Well, oh, right.
What if what
So,
if what
so,
if
so
what if the
listen.
women
No,
what if
don't
the
talk over
person
me. Don't talk over
okay,
me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's your show. My apology.
So, you mean to tell me that you think
Mm-hmm.
that a woman with two kids by two different men
Mm-hmm.
is equal to a woman with no children? You guys
Right,
are the
yes. Yes.
exactly. Well,
Because
there and ma'am,
oh, yes.
but who gets to decide that? Is it women that get to decide that, or is it men?
No, it's the man. You're
And I'm
right.
telling you, men will say you are out of your mind. Okay, let's start this. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
5'2". Okay, a couple of
Mm-hmm.
inches under dress size.
My dress size is 12.
I mean, so ma'am, I gotta be
Well,
honest. How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
175. But
Okay,
I'm shapely. I'm
but
not
ma'am,
just
I need you to listen. I need you to listen. Okay,
okay. I'm sorry.
you're a woman who's in the danger zone. 27 to 35 years old.
Danger zone!
You've had two children, and you've never required a man to to marry you before he had access to your womb. That's the highest honor a woman can give a man, and you gave it to two different men.
Uh-huh.
Then you go out here
I,
on an open
but
dating.
I'm gonna let you talk because I don't want to talk over you. I'm sorry.
Well, you call me to ask me questions, and it seems like you think you know what you're talking about. But here's the thing: if
No,
you
I
want to
don't.
be,
I
well,
didn't. I
if
wanted
you
to
know
know
what's going on, why aren't you married yet? If you want to be married, why aren't you?
probably because I chose the wrong men.
No,
But
that's not no, it's not it. It's because honestly, what you're talking about, you
I'm sorry.
sound
Say that.
you. That's what you're talking about. You. What does your father say about this?
He's deceased.
All right. How long has he been? How long has he been? How long has he been
He
dead?
passed when I was about 17.
Right. So you have daughters or sons.
I have a daughter and a son.
So you would tell a son that to date a woman like you, two kids by two different men.
I would tell my son to look for values. I would tell my son to look
I
for.
asked her, so I asked you a simple question. You would tell your son that you put all this time and effort in to go out and date a woman with two kids by two different men.
No, I would
Oh,
tell my son if he can to date someone with no kids, of course.
Okay, so she just defeated her own logic. She's saying that a woman with two children by two different men are the same as a woman with no children. Okay, yes, that's asinine. But then to come back and say that you wouldn't put your child in that same position, it's even crazier. Because you understand that those are two different aspects of life that man is then choosing. He can create his family with one, or he can come pre-made with a family already, and that woman hasn't required a man twice not to marry her, and they were able to push their legacy and their DNA into the next generation with no commitment, with no official commitment.
Okay, because why?
If he,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
Because you would want to start fresh with someone.
Exactly, because they have different values, ma'am. They're not the same. See,
Right,
you
but
try to listen. You try to act
Mhm.
as if a woman with no kids and a woman with two kids are have the same ultimate value. But when I ask you about your son, you say, "Well, no, I would tell him to get the woman that had no kids because she has a higher value." And consequently, you would tell your daughter to go out and do what you did. Go have two kids by two different men and see how that works out for
No,
you.
of course I wouldn't
Well,
tell her
then
that. No,
because it's a negative, ma'am, and you know it's a negative. You know
I
it is
don't
a
know.
negative.
I don't
No,
think it's a
it
negative
isn't. Oh, I'm
though.
telling you, it's a negative. It is. First off, it's the highest negative, and that's not even to consider the fact that you're obese.
You said the fact that I'm sorry. What was that last thing?
Obese.
Obese. I mean, society would say I'm obese, but if you look at me, I'm not obese. My stomach is flat, my legs is thick, and I have a thick bottom, but I'm not
Right.
obese.
So, where's your fiance?
I don't have one as of now. I'm single. When I first
Have
called
you
and
ever
told you
had a
I was single.
fiance?
I'm sorry, we were talking
Have
at the
you
same time.
ever had? Have you ever been engaged?
Closely to it.
No, ma'am. That's a yes or no.
No, I haven't.
All right, then. So I'm talking to a woman who's not engaged, never been engaged, who has
hmm
gone the farthest you can go with two different men, have children.
hmm
Where are the children's
hmm
fathers?
You said where?
Yeah, where are they?
They're around in the
Around.
same town as me.
Right. And do you earn more than both? Do you make more money than they do?
I do.
Right. So women tend to want a man making at least what she makes. So
You're
let's
saying
play
a
this
mess.
forward. Let's play this forward. I met you.
hmm hmm
And let's just say, for sake of argument, that I was all right with your height and your weight.
Okay.
I would 100% not be okay with the fact that you made babies with men who are lesser than I am, and you expect me to treat you better than they did.
I mean,
I,
but
I
with
listen,
your
listen,
past. Now I am
listen.
listen. Okay. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Your past matters. You are older. You have two more kids, and you expect new men to pay more than dudes that gave you babies. Plus, if I deal with you, I got to pay for them too. So yeah, ma'am. Go back to the original point. Impress. Oh yeah. Hell, oh yeah. See, and the thing is, women like you used to understand that you're in a jacked up, effed up position, and that you needed to get out here and impress. But now we've gotten to the point when women like you are honestly delusional. You think that, oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Well, show me the result where men are going to wife up obese baby mamas or two like hotcakes. I'm not trying to be rude, man, but
No. Listen, I called you, so I'm listening. You told me to listen. That's what I'm doing.
but the thing is, you're listening, but it's like I don't understand why you think having children is no big deal.
I didn't say that it wasn't no big deal, but everybody has baggage. No one is perfect. So I
Okay, well
mean,
then tell your son to marry one.
and I'm not trying to say my kids are baggage, but no one is
No,
perfect.
they are. There are to a man. There are to another man. I've been a stepfather. They are baggage. And see, ma'am, here's the reason why.
Mm.
Here's the reason why women, in general, black women like you, will never marry.
Mm-hmm.
Because instead of sitting back trying to say, "Damn," you keep trying to explain it away. Everybody has baggage. Everybody has this. I was young. No accountability. Deflection.
So what about so what about so what about people that's married early on and they're not married now and they have
It
kids?
doesn't matter. We're talking
What
about
about
you.
that?
We're talking about you. I'm not talking about them. I can't worry about what I can't do hypotheticals. What I can say is I'm talking to a woman
Okay.
that's 33 years old who had a
Mm-hmm.
child at 19
Mm-hmm.
with a deadbeat.
What you said with a deadbeat?
Well, what is he doing for a living?
My kid's father takes care of them. It's just that the relationship didn't work out with me,
All
with
right.
us.
But
Yeah.
he's earning less than you.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that makes him kind of a deadbeat.
Mm.
What do you do
Because
for a
he's
living? I'll
earning
take that
less
back. That may be
because
a
he's
little harsh.
earning
That may be
less
harsh.
than me.
That may be harsh. What do you do for a living?
I'm an engineering secretary.
Uh-huh. And did you go to college for that?
No, I did not.
And how much do engineering secretaries generally make annually?
I'm at my max pay, so right now I'm at 60,000.
60,000.
Mm-hmm.
In the Northeast, what state?
In New York.
New York, the five boroughs?
Out in Manhattan.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
just left Manhattan, and $60,000 a year is like $28,000 a year in Atlanta. You are broke. I used to live in Manhattan, ma'am. 43rd between
No,
10th and
I
11th.
don't live.
Listen,
Listen, I
listen,
don't
listen,
live in
ma'am. Listen,
Manhattan.
listen,
I work in
listen.
Manhattan. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Mm-hmm.
$60,000 a year in New York City ain't nothing. You're living paycheck to paycheck. And the point I'm making is the dude that gave you your first child makes less than you. These things matter because when you meet a man on the open market, he's going to be like, now, wait a minute. Gabrielle she's an engineering secretary making $60,000 a year, paycheck to
Mm-hmm.
paycheck, average normal person. Okay. But yet she has one child at 19 from a guy who ain't even making what she's making. And then the other guy is probably in a similar predicament. Then the man looks at himself and says, well, wait a minute. I'm making $100 and some odd $1,000 a year and I have no kids. I'm a massive upgrade from what you're used to. And you don't think you need to impress me?
No, I don't. I think if we like each other, we should
Okay.
impress each other.
Well,
I
guess
don't feel
what?
like just because you're
Good.
making, you don't know where I could be headed to.
No,
You know what I
no.
mean?
What I do know is
Mm-hmm.
what I do know is how tall you are. I do know
Mm-hmm.
how much you weigh, and I
Mm-hmm.
do know that you are working paycheck to paycheck within the
How
first.
do you know I'm working to
Excuse me,
paycheck
ma'am.
to paycheck?
Listen,
Just
back
because I
down,
told you
ma'am.
my
Don't talk.
woman.
I'm gonna mute you.
And the reason why he knows is because living in NYC isn't cheap. Like just by yourself making 60,000. Now you're making 60,000 and you have to take care of two children. I don't know who's that good at budgeting. And most people aren't. But just by the math, pretty much you are living paycheck to paycheck. That's just a fact, especially in New York. Even if you don't live in Manhattan, if you live in Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be paying a significant amount of money just to breathe air over there. But all in all, again, I don't understand why this woman thinks that a man who's making a significant amount of money and has his life together is going to need to come in and impress a woman with two children by two different men. Like, it's just not realistic. He's going to self evaluate and say, well, why am I doing this? He's going to question himself if he uttered a word that he had to impress you. That is just a fact.
What I do know is you don't out earn me. You're
Oh
not a
yeah,
college
I didn't
graduate. You're
say I
not a
did.
college graduate, ma'am. You have a
Mm-hmm.
job. You're and I'm trying to be nice, ma'am, but you talk like, well, you feel like we should impress each other. Well, you can feel like whatever you want, ma'am. And this is why so many black women like yourself will never marry, because you
Mm.
really think your value is far higher than it is. If a
It's
single
far how you value
far
than what
far
it is.
higher. If I'm a man and I have to pick a woman, I'm going to pick the best woman I can find. I'm going to pick a woman with no kids who can add value to my life. You have kids and you're going to take from my life. I got to pay for somebody else's kids because they come with you. You're a package deal.
Or, are you
You're
married now?
has nothing to do with the conversation with you.
Okay,
Trust
I'm
me.
sorry.
If I wanted to be married
Okay.
now, I could. I have been married and I am just
Hmm.
fine. That's not
Okay.
the question. The question is why you didn't get one man who gave you a baby to marry you. You didn't get another man to marry and gave
I
you a
mean, I,
baby.
I could have. I could have. It's just
Right.
that it didn't work out. That's
Ladies,
life.
and here's the thing. Ladies, women who think like this is what's going on. This woman is being honest.
Yeah, I am.
And you need therapy, ma'am.
I everyone needs therapy, especially everyone needs therapy. I
But
believe.
I don't worry about everybody else, ma'am. I'm talking about a mother of two
Yeah,
who's raising a boy
I didn't. I
who
never said I
who is
didn't need
raising a
therapy.
daughter who is raising a daughter. If she grows up modeling this, that's bad. And her
No,
son,
it's not.
and if a
People make
son,
mistakes.
okay, all right,
People
well, all
make
right, ma'am,
mistakes.
okay, you're right.
People make mistakes, and just because she's
Why do you
modeling
keep
me,
saying people make mistakes like that
because
means
nobody's
something?
perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Right,
Nobody is perfect.
right, and that does what for you, ma'am?
I mean, it's the truth. It's not what's working for me. That's what's going
Yeah,
on.
nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. What does that do for you? So when your so
It
when your
doesn't
son
do any.
so
It
when your
doesn't do
son so when
anything
your
for
how old
me.
is your son?
He's 6.
He's 6. So when your son comes home with the F's and he
Mhm.
starts running down this, nobody's perfect, mom. We all make mistakes.
No, you pose the correct each time you move
Well,
forward.
here's the thing, ma'am. You're supposed
Mm.
to correct, but can't nobody correct you.
You
That's
said,
the
I'm sorry. Say that last
you're
part again. I
supposed to
couldn't
correct,
hear
but
you.
no one can correct you, and that's the problem. So many of you women out here are living uncovered, uncorrected, lacking discipline, lacking accountability, out here just on your own, making children and mistakes. And I'm talking to a 33-year-old woman of two who is yet to take any kind of accountability or responsibility. You've deflected at every opportunity.
No,
And
I
you
said
honestly think that you are
when we spoke. Go ahead. I'm sorry. When we spoke earlier, I told you that I made a mistake. I never said that I was correct along the way.
no, you still making excuses. Heroin addict. Well, everybody got a vice. So
You
keep on
said
shooting
everybody
heroin,
have.
right? Right? He's a heroin addict. Everybody got a vice. I had problems. I had traumas. Okay. So he should keep on shooting heroin, right?
No, I just said
Right.
correct moving forward
Well,
in
you're
life.
not. You haven't done anything to correct it. You're not in
You said
therapy.
I
You're
haven't.
not in therapy. I said you need a
Yes,
therapist. You said, well,
I
everybody
have
need a
been into therapy.
therapist.
I've been to therapy.
Yeah, but you're not in it. And when
No,
you've
due to
been,
COVID.
if you're
Due
not,
to
if
COVID,
you're
I
okay,
haven't.
listen. I'm done talking. I'm trying to be polite, but you keep talking over me. I'm going to mute you. Whatever therapy you've been obviously did not work.
Mm.
Because I'm talking to a woman who's 5'2", almost 200 pounds, with 2 kids, talking like you really got options, and you should be impressed. Who's trying to impress a 5'2", 200-pound woman with kids?
A lot of men. A
Yeah, to
lot of
get
men.
to marry you, or
A
just
lot of
to
men.
marry you?
And it's no
To
low
marry
budget men.
you?
I'm sorry, say that again.
To marry you?
Who would want to marry me?
Yeah, that's how we keep score over here. We don't worry about a man trying to impress you to get sex from you. We talk about a man to marry you.
Yes,
So a
to
lot of
marry
men
me,
want to marry you.
because you know why?
A lot
Because
of no ma'am,
I'm
no ma'am, no ma'am,
okay.
no ma'am. You have men wanting to marry you.
I said yes. Can I elaborate on that, or should I be quiet and let you finish?
Well, if you
Mm.
but the thing is, you said you've never been engaged. So how can you say you have men that want to marry you?
Because I do. I have men that wants to
Oh,
marry me because they see the
men,
qualities.
multiple,
They see what type of woman I am.
multiple men want to marry you. Sure, tell us about them.
Hello?
Sure, tell us about the men that want to marry you.
You said tell you about it.
Just tell us. Tell us.
It's just basic, and it's not
No,
in
no, no. I
reference
don't know. I
to
need some details.
you're not letting me
No,
talk.
how old is the guy that wants to marry you?
How old is these guys?
Yeah, you said you have
Some
multiple.
are
So let's talk
some
the
are
first.
some are in their 40s, some are in
Some.
their
How many? How
50s.
many are we talking about?
Yo, it's so funny because when women start repeating the question, that's how you know they're trying to create something in their mind to answer with. um, how old are these people? Where are they? You you said marriage minded people, wait, men that are talking to me. That's what you mean?
How many? I don't count. I don't
Oh,
count.
you don't count.
But I've
So
talked to
I need to
people. I've
understand.
talked to
So
people.
people in
I've
the
talked to
audience.
people.
So people in the audience need to understand that the woman here is saying that she's never been married, never been engaged, but she has so many men that want to marry her that she can't even count them. Okay, right.
I didn't say like, oh,
Oh yeah,
people
ma'am.
are
Yes, that's
throwing it.
exactly what you're saying, and
I'm
it's
not
being
saying
all this is being recorded. All this is being recorded. This is the level of delusion for a lot of black women like her. I'm not gonna put this woman needs help. I had to mute you, ma'am, because you're just talking now. You can unmute yourself if you can control your mouth. But
I
ma'am, I
okay.
asked you. You said there's several men that want to marry you. All right, let's take one of them. How old is the oldest one?
The oldest is 50. No, I'm sorry,
50.
about 50. Yeah, about 50.
About 50.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. What's his first name?
I'm sorry.
What's his first name?
Why? If
Hey,
this is recorded
excuse me,
and it's
ma'am.
live,
No
why
one
would I
knows
say
you
his first name? Why they
because
gave
honestly,
my
man, don't
name?
talk over me. I told you I'm about to go there with you. No one knows you. No one knows your name. And all you have to do is say a name. What's his first initial then,
Okay,
man? What's his first
John. You
initial?
can say his name. His name is John.
John. Yeah, John, 50 years old. Right. How many kids John have?
John has one
What does
biologically.
John do for a living?
He is an engineer.
He's an engineer. All right. Where does he live? In Manhattan too?
No, he lives in. I never said I lived in. I was trying to tell you that
You
I
work in
don't live in
Manhattan. I'm just
Manhattan.
asking him because John, where does he live, man?
He lives in Jersey.
All right. And how long you been seeing John?
Well, we just talk. We don't see each
Oh,
other.
you just talk. So you're not dating
Yeah,
John.
just
So
text,
you just texted.
talk
So a
occasionally.
man that you're texting is 50 years old named John in Jersey. You say he
Mhm.
wants to marry you, but you've never dated him.
No, I never dated him. We just talk.
Right. You are absolutely fucking insane. This is the level of delusion with far too many black women today.
Yeah, John Doe. John Doe from Jersey, all the way up in Jersey, 50 odd, some odd years old. That's never met this woman ever. They just talk on the phone. He's the person that's the runner up to marry her. John Doe. Oh, man. Crazy. Please, everyone, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Turn on post notifications so you will be alerted when we upload more videos just like this one. Head over to Kevin Samuel's channel. Let's keep the Godfather's name alive. Go watch the videos. Make sure you guys share this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.